What if I told you that Matt Roloff just stirred up one of the most heated debates in Little People, Big World history with a single word? That's right. He called his ex-wife Amy lazy. For longtime fans of the show, that comment wasn't just a throwaway remark. It hit deep, reopening old wounds from the couple's messy past. For years, viewers have watched Matt and Amy navigate marriage, divorce, and the challenges of running Roloff Farms side by side. Their relationship has always been filled with tension, but this latest job feels different. It wasn't just a critique of Amy's work ethic, it was a public dismissal of her role in the family legacy, and fans are calling it out as blatant disrespect. This moment has people talking not only because of the word itself, but because of what it represents, a long history of conflict between Matt and Amy that is often spilled onto our screens. Their divorce may have been finalized years ago, but the way Matt continues to talk about Amy suggests that old resentments are still very much alive. In this video, we're diving into exactly why this comment struck such a nerve. We'll revisit the most disrespectful moments between Matt and Amy, examine how their family dynamics have played into this tension, and break down the fiery reactions pouring in from fans who believe Matt crossed a line. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. The controversy began when Matt Roloff made a remark during a recent conversation that fans couldn't ignore. While discussing life after his divorce from Amy and the challenges of managing Roloff Farms, Matt casually referred to Amy as lazy. On the surface, it may have sounded like a throwaway line, half frustration, half sarcasm, but to viewers who followed the Roloffs for years, it struck a much deeper chord. The setting of the comment only added fuel to the fire. It wasn't in a heated argument or a private family dispute. It was captured on camera, shared openly with audiences, almost as though Matt didn't consider how it might land. Some fans believe Matt meant it as a jab, painting Amy in a negative light to make himself look like the one who carried the family's burdens. Others argue he was simply venting, speaking from his own perspective without realizing how harsh it would sound. Within hours of the episode airing, social media lit up. Twitter, Instagram, and fan forums flooded with posts calling Matt out for what many labeled as blatant disrespect. Longtime fans pointed out that Amy has always been the glue that held the Roloff household together, raising 4 children while also contributing to the farm and building her own ventures. To reduce her years of effort to a single word like lazy felt unfair, even cruel. The backlash was swift and intense. Viewers accused Matt of rewriting history, dismissing Amy's contributions, and feeding into an old pattern of belittling her. Many noted that this wasn't the first time Matt had made digs at Amy, but this particular comment seemed to cross a line because of its simplicity. It was cutting, direct, and dismissive all at once. For fans who've supported Amy through her journey, her divorce, her remarriage to Chris Merrick, and her growing independence, the comment seemed to validate years of speculation that Matt never fully respected her. Instead of being seen as a lighthearted jab, it came across as a public attempt to minimize her role, and that's what stung the most. By the time the dust settled, one thing was clear. Matt's offhand remark wasn't just a bad joke. It reopened old wounds, resurfaced years of Roloff family drama, and reminded viewers why the dynamics between Matt and Amy remain one of the most complicated and at times toxic storylines in Little People, Big World. To understand why Matt calling Amy lazy struck such a nerve with fans, we need to rewind and look at their long history on Little People, Big World. From the very beginning of their marriage, documented in the early seasons, Matt and Amy had vastly different approaches to work, family, and responsibility. Matt was always portrayed as the dreamer, the big-picture thinker who constantly had ideas for new farm projects, attractions, and business ventures. But often, those dreams came with a price: long hours, risky financial decisions, and unfinished projects scattered across Roloff Farms. Amy, on the other hand, was more grounded and cautious. She focused on the household, raising the kids, and keeping life manageable. That fundamental difference quickly created tension. Over the years, Matt frequently criticized Amy's decision-making. He would call her negative or unmotivated whenever she pushed back against one of his ideas. Fans noticed a pattern, Matt framing himself as the visionary and Amy as the obstacle. Even in day-to-day situations like organizing family events or managing the home, Matt's comments often implied that Amy wasn't pulling her weight. This narrative, that Amy wasn't as hardworking or ambitious, slowly built up across seasons, and many viewers saw it as deeply unfair. Take the farm projects, for example. Matt often pushed for big expansions, from pumpkin season attractions to building new structures. When Amy questioned the practicality or the financial burden, Matt would accuse her of not supporting him. Similarly, in household responsibilities, Amy was left juggling the kids' schedules, meals, and general day-to-day life, while Matt seemed focused on grander pursuits. Fans began to see Amy as the one holding the family together, while Matt chased dreams that sometimes fizzled out. Financial decisions were another battleground. Matt wanted to invest heavily in the farm and business opportunities, while Amy urged caution. These disagreements weren't just about money, they highlighted a fundamental clash in their values. Amy wanted stability, Matt wanted growth at all costs. And even after their divorce in 2016, the tension didn't disappear. Instead, it transformed. Viewers picked up on the snide comments that continued between them during family gatherings or in interviews. Matt would still throw shade at Amy's attitude or work ethic, while Amy would make subtle digs about Matt being controlling or dismissive. Divorce might have ended their marriage, but it didn't erase the deep-seated incompatibility that had always existed. What this really reveals is how mismatched they were in personality. Matt thrives on constant activity, projects, and a fast-paced life. Amy prefers balance, routine, and personal connection. Neither approach is wrong, but when paired together in a marriage, it created years of frustration, miscommunication, and resentment. So when Matt recently referred to Amy as lazy, it wasn't just a throwaway insult. It carried the weight of years of criticism, dismissiveness, and conflict. For longtime fans, it wasn't shocking, but it was disappointing. It reinforced a narrative they've watched unfold for nearly 2 decades, Matt minimizing Amy's contributions while elevating his own. The fallout from Matt Roloff's lazy comment about Amy quickly spiraled into something much larger than a single insult. For many viewers, it became a window into the complicated web of Roloff family dynamics, a story that's been unfolding for nearly 2 decades on Little People, Big World. On one side, Amy's supporters point out how much she endured over the years. From raising 4 children while also helping on the farm, to building her own career after divorce, Amy has carved out her own success. Her husband, Chris Merrick, has been a steady partner, and her children often express admiration for her perseverance. Fans who defend Amy see her as the emotional backbone of the Roloff family, someone who often picked up the pieces when conflicts escalated. In their eyes, Matt's comment was not just unfair, it was a dismissal of everything Amy contributed, both seen and unseen. Yet, Matt isn't without his defenders. Some fans argue that Amy wasn't as engaged in the farm's day-to-day operations, especially compared to Matt, who constantly brainstormed new projects, expanded the property, and treated the farm as his legacy. To this group, Matt's criticism, while harsh, reflected a deeper frustration with what he perceived as Amy's lack of interest in his vision. They believe his words, though poorly chosen, stem from long-standing disagreements about priorities. Adding another layer of tension is Karen Chandler, Matt's longtime partner. Fans have long debated whether her presence contributed to the cracks in Matt and Amy's relationship. Some suspect that Matt's willingness to make disparaging remarks about Amy may have been amplified by his bond with Karen, who now stands by his side in nearly all farm-related ventures. While not directly responsible, Karen's involvement has undeniably fueled speculation that she played a role in widening the divide. And then, of course, there's the farm itself, the very heart of Roloff family drama. Ownership disputes, sibling rivalries, and negotiations over the future of Roloff Farms have created some of the show's most heated moments. When Matt labels Amy as lazy, it isn't just about chores. It's about control, legacy, and power over the family's most prized possession. Every insult or jab feels like another log thrown onto a fire that has been burning for years. Ultimately, this moment of disrespect reflects something much deeper: the broader fractures in the Roloff family. What might seem like a passing comment to outsiders is, for fans who have watched for years, yet another reminder of how divided the family has become. Whether it's Matt and Amy's post-divorce friction, Zach and Matt's falling out over the farm, or the growing role of new spouses and partners, the Roloffs are no longer the united family they once appeared to be. The backlash to Matt Roloff's lazy remark about Amy spread quickly across social media. Many longtime fans of Little People, Big World felt the comment crossed a line, accusing Matt of publicly shaming his ex-wife. On Reddit, threads filled with criticism, with one fan writing, "It doesn't matter if he was joking, Amy put decades of her life into that farm and family. She deserves more respect than being called lazy on camera." Similar sentiments echoed on Facebook fan pages, where users pointed out that Amy was often portrayed as the glue of the household, handling meals, childcare, and balancing her own work ventures during their marriage. But not everyone was piling on Matt. Some viewers came to his defense, arguing that the lazy comment was likely an exaggeration, maybe even said in sarcasm. On Instagram, a fan commented, "People need to lighten up. Matt's always been blunt. He probably didn't mean it as deeply as people are taking it." A few even pointed out that Amy herself has admitted to not always being as invested in the farm work as Matt, suggesting that this was just a reflection of their long-standing dynamic. The clash of perspectives highlights a larger question: should ex-spouses keep these kinds of criticisms private, or is it fair game when both are still public figures on a reality show? Many fans argued that airing out such remarks on television only deepens old wounds and undermines any progress Matt and Amy have made in moving on with their respective partners. Others countered that this is exactly what LPBW has always thrived on: raw, unfiltered moments that showcase the Roloffs' real personalities, flaws included. And, of course, looming over this entire debate is the role of TLC itself. Some viewers suspect that the network is deliberately fanning the flames by keeping such comments in the final edit. After all, reality TV thrives on controversy. Was this a candid slip-up from Matt, or a carefully placed soundbite to stir drama and boost ratings? For many fans, the answer doesn't even matter. The damage is done, and the remark has already cemented itself as one of the most talked-about moments in the show's recent history. Matt Roloff's lazy comment may seem like just another offhand remark, but it reignited old wounds that never fully healed. Even years after their divorce, Matt and Amy's conflicts continue to spill into the public eye, proving that the Roloff family story is far from simple. The fanbase remains sharply divided. Some stand firmly with Matt, arguing that his frustrations have long been justified, while others passionately defend Amy, saying she deserves far more respect than she's been given. What's clear is that this one word, lazy, has once again spotlighted the fractures that have shaped both their marriage and their lives after it. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.